in the 1-1 bracket. Astralis versus paiN Gaming to kick it off.
Yeah, there's already been some bullets sent down range by Stare, a man we glossed over in the roster overview. A steady hand for Astralis, even in times of dire need. Big Azera trying to push in and infiltrate. It's Device and Stare to combine elsewhere, and, well, Magisk activates with the dualies. That really does leave us with nowhere to go for paiN Gaming in the pistol. They'll be unceremoniously executed by all of the different Astralis players. Jabby even getting activated there at the end.
Is that the concoction? Yeah, is that the concoction that we need to see a third map is traded maps?
I was thinking about that. There's a question about it, but more questions about this round as, well, Jabby's able to finish things off to Davideus after his successful opener. And look at this little burrow from DGT. Will Jabby think to check that little spot?
Well, they definitely don't think he's there. They may check it just for goodness sake, but Big Azera with a clean opener, and then he pops out, checking the box, checking the sandwich.
Chicken sandwich?
As it was sandwich with a fistful of AK in there.
Are invited, more than welcome to join us, !F, to see all of the Fissure content behind the scenes. It's going to be explosive, especially as we get into that arena stage. So, !F, like NQZ after Device gets him with the AWP. Oh, and it's more than that for the Danes. Already up in a 5 versus 2 now. So just as soon as paiN Gaming get a little bit of value, it's dashed away.
Back to back, we see both sides of the paiN coin.
Into his outfit. And just like that, with a couple of cheeky flashes, Astralis don't necessarily challenge too heavily for that map control. It's Hooksy towards short. He'll be periodically peering through connector all Mirage long.
Quick fix to their previous issue that I highlighted, them being disconnected. It's a lot slower, it's a lot more measured.
Yes.
Maybe there's something here.
Absolutely, could be the case. Another resmoke towards mid-window. Heroic flubbed a few of those. Glad to see paiN are not doing that yet, though there's still time for that. Device, deep angle in apartments. Opportunity onto Snow. That's also bomb dropped. Big info for our Danish opper. Icon of Counter-Strike, trying to get back into it. Successful so far, 45 seconds.
That smoke is fresh on short. You see barely any responses. Magisk is getting curious over towards the ramp. Jabby gonna get the initial secondary fight of this round, you'd think. They think better off pushing the stairs, but now they're running into a crossfire. Good flashbang, but Big Azera just doesn't check anything. First kill back. Well, make that a double, actually. DGT manages to get one more. Jabby, the double spray through the box is enough to get another round win for the Stars. DGT sent packing.
They got one A1S on DGT saved over from the previous round, and they have a couple of upgraded pistols, a smoke and a flash.
Whiff of an opportunity on to Device, and DGT is making sure this fight will continue as he doubles up on middle. Magisk getting stomped, and Device unable to trade just yet. He is at half HP, but that's plenty for him. Still the man advantage. Weapons unrecoverable as of yet, but with Device falling back, will paiN prioritize it? Will they try and get those rivals in their hands? Would significantly increase their odds here, but maybe NQZ can get a timing here. Pinstring on A, on towards Jabby. That's a spot.
I don't think he saw it.
Ooh, that's
he
more
does.
than a spot.
He's more than seeing, it's believing. Device domed by the deagle of Davideus. You know, there's some serious solo plays in this particular round for paiN Gaming, and it's not replicable by itself. Astralis will tighten things up into the next few rounds, but paiN Gaming are going to try to thrive in the chaos, and Big Azera has cleared out all of the B site. Snow with the bomb and connector, still looking around for any exit path. Jabby back to his usual antics with The same position that won him the last round. It will not do so this time around. HooXi flanks all the way. At best, they can clear out NQZ in Palace with no casualties and then save the weapons that they've got. This bomb is planted.
They're going to walk right into NQZ's little setup trap. Just waiting for it. There's the first. Jabby will be the lone survivor, but once more, a bit of a reliance here on DGT, the man of the tournament thus far from paiN. paiN Gaming looking to kick off their map pick with a W. As this T side has been looking really, really strong. Another opening pick from none other than DGT.
Yeah, very interesting complexion to this half so far. paiN Gaming tying things up, and Stare already down in this round means that South American squad now going to rotate back over. They feel like they've got the read. Either way they go, it'll be a 4-on-2. But Magisk and Yabi getting active. This could either backfire or give Astralis a much-needed look into this round. Big swing from Yabi. He's immediately cut down, only good for one trade, as multiple Ts on the low ground. Remove Magisk from the equation. It's just HooXi on the site now as Device casually looks over, waits for the smoke and the flash, and disengages. However, he does take Big Uzera with him, and that is the bomb. That's a little awkward. HooXi, though, not able to carry it forward, and it's just Device in a 1-on-3. That would be the second round in a row we see from him be pushed off by one grenade, and that's the signal for him to go.
Arms awaiting the response. Doing very well there. But for now, let's see if Astralis can get the responses in check. Big Uzera has been able to cross Device, who's once more in that pushed up position. Leaving him solo on B, and Snow brings destruction with him. A, again, an opening pick for paiN. He ain't stopping.
No, he is not. This is the kid that wasn't activating quite as much on the entries last night. He's clearly turned it on now, and that honestly leaves a lot of less pressure on players like DGT and Davideus to make their own mark on the game. It's just Device and HooXi in familiar territory. A save. They can't possibly go for this, but it doesn't matter what they try to do because there's paiN Gaming players everywhere. What could be a flawless round from the South American squad as Big Uzera is going to challenge his opposing captain with the backup of DGT. HooXi is only going to be able to take one before he's cut down, and that is the explosion we were expecting from a player like Snow after double entrying onto the A site. Yeah.
It's still some very nice highlights out of the blonde Dane, but a bit of a struggle. There we go. Finally, some punch out of Astralis.
Stare opening things up. He has been the steady hand for Astralis in times of need, particularly when it comes to the CT side. Does it with the AK-47 now in his hands, but it was a FAMAS frag. We love those. Now, paiN Gaming hot to trot aren't going to look to slow things down too much. They're going to feel out exactly where their opponents are, and, well, look where Stare is. Let's be real. Going to be a hard thing to clear without investing more utility, which might be better used, better spent on the A-bomb site, which is where 3 of their members are going. They'll re-exec towards mid initially, going for that map control. Try to get themselves into a good spot. Perhaps allow Big Uzera out from underpass.
And we'll throw the util to make him move, but I'm hoping Big Uzera just bides his time here. He can't be the one to open this up, because Stare and Magisk holding his position. I'm saying that Stare's gonna give it up, prioritizing a late flank. This could all go wrong here with this one-on-one duel. Magisk will be caught. Jabby all alone in dark, usually only a one and done. Can he find more? A FAMAS not strong enough. And Stare, will that decision to come in with a late flank be valuable enough? DGT and Big Uzera already eyeing it, but he still gets away. The bomb's not been planted yet. Ooh, they might lose the time.
5
They
seconds.
will lose the time as NQZ won't have any time to get that bomb down, and it's a bit awkward in the end there of the first half.
Different, not just from the sniper, but probably also in terms of the strats. And it is a bit of a B lean for paiN Gaming, whereas A is the target for Astralis.
I usually am a fan of these setups, but the fact that there's no CT control from paiN Gaming, that is worrying me slightly. We'll have the human flashbang of Jabby entering in, looking to bait them into this crossfire. That is wonderful for a, well, eventually it is wonderful, as NQZ takes his time. 5 versus 3 on the retake, taking CT control apparently not crucial, as Magisk from this position can still put down the hurt. Smoke on the bomb, there's a kit. Well, no smoke on the bomb. There is a kit available. They're gonna need to hold on to this ramp position. HooXi gets the angle a bit awkward, and Device needs the clutch. We told you, not a lot of impact just yet. This could bring it. A pistol round win is not there for the AWP veteran. Same as they did against Heroic. Get a very good start on this CT side, and they've been known to storm away with some of these rounds. Mood is looking fly.
Seeing such a huge change in the mood and also in the results has got to be reinvigorating for paiN Gaming. Feeling very, very nice now as we go into round 15. paiN have an opportunity to double the score of Astralis.
Probably feel a lot more like themselves at this point.
Yeah, absolutely. Certainly not the semi-finalist paiN, more like the quarterfinalist paiN, if you know what I'm saying. Certainly firing much better than before. It's Astralis on the struggle bus. We'll see if they can entry out onto mid here. HooXi going to take first contact. There's no nades with this. The trade is there from Stair. Utility now being disposed of. As he tries to cross. Bigazera finds the timing.
Again.
What is this, Nuke with the smoke spam? He gets Device, and totally unfair. How do you even fight against that? 2 versus 4. Stair struggles with the spray, and it's just Magisk left.
A tough situation nonetheless from Astralis. That's slightly foolish, but for the first time on this T side, we'll see a proper full buy. Not those pesky Galils. DGT gets the same control as what Device was taking consistently. Jabby, well, will receive probably a beer after this game from Magisk for saving his butt.
That being said, if this kind of paiN Gaming is going to be what we get for the rest of the tournament, you can expect to see them at the arena, which, in case you missed our little banner in the top right, exclamation point ticket will get you what you need. All the information to book your trip. The 19th to the 21st is when our arena action will take place. paiN Gaming do want to get back to their heights, which was, of course, famously the semifinals of the most recent Counter-Strike major. Magisk, on the other hand, he was up high on ladder. He's cut down with a trade.
Great timing.
And trying to hold from the back here. Here we go.
Another pickup as they completely tunnel vision onto NQZ. That smoke there will give him the time of day. Device again with this kill that, well, we have yet to remain and see how much impact it can bring. The bombs right in front, guarding it like a like an egg. NQZ, he's on there. And that bomb will not
stick in the dark, trying to find out where the enemy is through multiple smokes.
As of
Total
recently,
chaos and bedlam.
Yeah, as of recently, the only example I can get to is Mouse on Mirage. 13-4. Snow just continues. He's so on fire. Snow with one more before he finally gets stopped. NQZ gives him a bit of leeway with 2 missed op shots.
Okay.
But the flank's already there, and well, the flank is coming. Thought it was going to be earlier, but Davide bides his time and wants to make sure, let his team get a couple more. And HooXi stuck in the sandwich. From where it all started, DGT begun it from there, and HooXi will find his final resting place on Mirage. These teams far from judged contenders of that, but Inferno will start. And a methodical play over towards the A bomb site, looking to overwhelm a bomb site, which soon will have 4 players defending it.
This is going to be tight. paiN Gaming have all the tools they need to repulse this assault. Astralis diving forward. Somehow Yabby not dealt with. That is a disaster at the top of the balcony. However, NQZ still dug in here. Doesn't matter. Him and DJT dropped by Stare. It's only Snow left on the site as rotations come in. Maybe he's all that's necessary. A one-on-one now between Stare and Big Yazera.
Stare able to get his reload in. Very chaotic fight there. Jabby and Davideus in a bit of a deadlock. In all that chaos, it was no other than DGT to get himself a triple kill. Stare, from what I can see on the minimap, he has to go for a jump up. Will expose himself for a while, but that bomb needs to be retrieved. 42 seconds left, still all to do here.
Outside of noise range, we haven't heard it here from Big Yazera's POV. He'll hear the digit get tapped. Surely something that he's going to start thinking about as he pushes out from the winery. Ooh, catches him with the slimmest of angles for a South American victory in the pistol.
Exactly the reason that paiN Gaming have put 3 players over towards A, because it's just such an obvious choice. A lot of double bluffs happening there. Snow, unchecked for the first. Stare's able to trade, and now you have a very lonesome Big Yazera. That support flash is going to come in a bit too late. No. Big Yazera left to his own devices. Speaking about him, he's waiting here on short. Or on banana. It will be a short fight. That's what I meant.
Really important here that paiN Gaming try to collect themselves as they push into the bomb site. It is kind of one-dimensional on the angle. Yabby swinging out. He's in that dark position, and it shouldn't even be necessary here at this point. Stare finishes us off, and that is Astralis diving right back into the deep end.
You for the B stream.
Mag 7.
Not in shot.
In action, courtesy of Snow. Oh, he saw one. Oh, he's actually going to get away with killing Hooksy. Broken smoke and the heavy. Cut down to half HP courtesy of that HE. Won't be too much at risk. He's got to kind of bob and weave between flames. Big Yazera has the P250. They're probably going to be thinking about recovering that weapon. That's why Astralis is so locked into this B site. Meanwhile, the A defenders for paiN Gaming, they refuse to budge. In fact, there's rotations being pulled away, peeled off towards that A site. And maybe Astralis are going to be heading in that direction anyway. Didn't take Speedway. No way for them to know that the CTs have been making moves. Burrowing into the A cubby.
One more.
Bracket control necessary now. And, well, Stare will find something back at least. Shotgun removed.
That does open up a lot more of the map. Able to play a bit of a dodging game here to this A-side stack. Although some noses are pointed towards A. A drive swing will be punished. And they're going to judge this as an information play. They're not really ready for this DGT position. And it's going to only get worse from here because it's 15 seconds left and a crossfire is set up. Deal with the first 5-7. You won't! NQZ! Triple kill! Thought it was a triple. It was Davideus getting the kill on the bomb site, but still 2 very swift ones from NQZ. And we'll get a trilogy. Yeah, we'll get a trilogy in these force buys. Everyone knows the third movie is always the best.
Oh, yeah?
That's bound to rile some people up.
Yeah, I know a few people who would say, what?
Maybe only with Toy Story.
Hey, that's the movie where they put eyeballs on something and it becomes an eldritch monstrosity. I guess that's kind of cool. Meanwhile, this push from the force buy, not so cool. Astralis only able to get 1 frag. It's just device left. I mean, a familiar sight. He won't be saving this time around, though. Looking for any action he can get. Last shot is good onto Big Yazera. Reloads the Galil. That's going to be noise made. Basically surrounded on all sides right now. When does he peer over? It turns out the answer is never, as Davideus side swipes him with the AK-47.
Not fierce enough there. Don't exactly know what the entire game plan was, of course, from Astralis. If it was the plan to fall back all along, but with 2 pieces of util, they've managed to completely ruin the early map control from Astralis. I mean, we're nearly 50 seconds down, and just now they're going to cross into B. Realize there hasn't been any quick response.
Yeah.
Everyone fell back, and they're going to have to re-clear everything still. It's going to be a 4 versus 2 for the time being.
Feels like paiN Gaming have the read. They're primed for additional utility as this last smoke is about to fade. Is it going to be just in time? There's lots of anti-flash, lots of people behind walls, but it's primed for Big Azira.
The flash from the Professor. Snow holds it. Lobs it in. And it completely halts Astralis. Big Azira and Snow. A free shooting range. No restrictions. A full house for the B defense as...
And that was well before any lead was established, so pretty wild scenes. NQZ buried into the car position. Easy pick onto Stair. Makes it look easy, but that was anything but, as the jump peak was designed to not let Stair die right in that situation. Oh, he's got another one. Easy adjustment. Wow, NQZ just holding down the fort by himself. Everybody else is on A, man.
Redline makes him flatline. There's just nothing. Oh, man. I was about to say I'm happy at this change-up from Astralis. The fact that they take brackets control. And I was hoping they were going to work that. Worked at a bomb site. There was some util potential. paiN falling back into pretty typical positions. But already 3 to 4 Molotovs used just to get that control. And apparently not the confidence in the Danish camp to take the bomb side as paiN Gaming continue the storm. The one-sided affairs continue here late at night on the B stream.
And save after time. And yet he didn't even bother even trying to hold on to the AWP. So I don't know, there's something there. I'm picking at it. Meanwhile, let's see. Selected for the first fight. It's going to work out nicely. NQZ trades him back, but that's the AWP on the wounded player, so bit gutting as he falls back to the backside. Big Azira come in for support, but he's smoked off now. And a minute 10 left. This is a pacey hit.
Good combo. Forcing him back yet again. Everyone can get more settled. And Big Azira. Check him glasses, man.
He's got that Google Glass. Phasing right through the smoke. X-ray vision or something. Superman for paiN Gaming. He's right back around. He's having a really solid game as well, but he doesn't even really need to activate here. DGT, they don't check him. Historically not the best at fighting from such positions. This Astralis lineup really wants to avoid that, but right now all they're avoiding is a second round. Magic changes their minds. Oopsie also opening back up. And KZ can't find the swing, and it's just down to Big Azira on the site. Well, first one's going to be found. He's making it a bit awkward, but the double swing more than enough to clean him out. And Snow, there's no way you can do this one.
I'm not gonna... Wasn't gonna touch that joke, but finally, teeth shown from Astralis. And look, so it works instantly, doesn't it? Everything you missed right here on the FISSURE YouTube channel. !go for even the highlights of the A stream are in there as well. So you can watch back everything. You can watch back rounds like this. Hooksy finally lighting up the scoreboard a bit. It's a small light, but more than Astralis have seen. Oh no.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh, don't talk about the Big Azira secondary sniper. The only time they've had to pull this one out the entire time on Inferno. Magisk will make it a non-issue.
What?
2v2 though, and Bomb lost in second mid.
What is this round?
A second life for paiN Gaming to get double digits.
You can spend 15 minutes straight analyzing everything that went wrong between both teams in this round. You'd still not have covered this 2v2 that's about to happen.
That's right. Well, more mistakes could yet be made. It is rifle-on-rifle violence queued up over here. Davideus burrowed into that little underpass area. Smoke for him. Oh, replaced by its own. Magic trying to flush out any little bit of info he can get. That's the rifle duel that might just seal the deal. Snow falls, and there's such little HP on Davideus. We will get a third round for Astralis. No kit, so if a bomb plant goes down, could be a problem in the dirty side of the round.
Well, the Batman belts are full from paiN. And they're going to be hounding down Jabby. I was keeping an extra eye on him, wanting to see more from him, but they're going to get wrapped, which means an early stop to this retake, if they can even get to the bomb site, because Jabby is holding his own after a dink. Peg turned down a peg. They're going to not plant the bomb yet. Ooh, device. He can do something from the winery. And a man that ages like fine wine, apparently. Couple headshots, and Astralis do what they need to do just yet.
Up next for the test, passes it. Might have been a bit awkward and prolonged, but no worries there. It's just Snow all by his lonesome. Sure, he's got the bomb on his back, but until he deals with this flank, it doesn't feel safe to put the digits in. Everybody else powering on him, and he won't even be able to clear Jabby, but I will say him
caused it to not be a kill, but leave him at 1 HP. Not entirely sure, of course, but there we go. HooXi getting more up front. We're going to gain a bit more power out of that MP9.
No problems with keeping that in your back pocket. However, it is helmets for all of paiN Gaming. That mini nerf Valve did to the MP9 honestly didn't do enough for my taste, but let's let the pros prove whether it's a problem.
The day after that nerf, I was playing this exact position as a T-side player. I was peeking on sandbags, and I got sprayed, full sprayed, from coffins. That was a bit horrendous, as so is that play. Very ready are paiN. They have come so prepared to this best of 3. They are making some sick reads. Props to the analytics team of the South Americans.
Great job so far from them, and they're even going to put more damage down to Device. Now, he's lived on 1 HP before. Now he's on 27.
He had no extra fight in that scenario. There's going to be a whole lot of fight coming his way now. The smoke will put him down. Well, not the smoke. He was distracted. Davideus straight through the boards and stair, giving himself a double peek by accident by stepping out wide, wanting to be a bit of a surprise. paiN Gaming, first gun round, first T-site round on the board. And is that really a surprise? Slower start at least. And another nade. Good damage done to the two of the current A defenders. And DGT again just sneaking out before that smoke blooms, trying to catch the timing on Magisk or Jabby, who probably don't expect him to be this far up front already. They're used to doing this.
Oh no.
Same as on Mirage, but stoic crossfires in play. And Jabby chiming in with 1 and 2. The man that we needed to step up will be there. He's gonna crawl on forward. Doesn't make a step. Davideus gives him gives him an exit strategy.
Huge problems.
But which way are they going to go? The bomb, it can't rotate back towards B, so there still is an opportunity. Forced into the hands of Astralis. The bomb not getting out in time. And counting some lucky stars here as they try to shoot for him. It's Device and Jabby, the people you need it from. Astralis deal with it nicely.
Very passive on B.
Yeah. We're going to need to convert, though. No double nade. Yesterday we've seen Ultimate take that barrage, putting him to sleep for that round.
Well, if you could pick a player to do that to, Device would be the one. Obviously got a triple kill with the automatic weapon. How many is he good for this time? Opens up onto Big Azera. There is some rifle support from Stair. We're going to need them to really lock this one down.
There you
Stair,
go. What?
Only good for 1. Immediately
This
traded
can
by
unfold.
Davideus, who doubles up onto Device. The wallbang headshot. He is hunting them down. Now, HooXi should be able to get back into things. And there's 35 seconds to plant the bomb, so NQZ doesn't need to rush. He waits for the smoke towards ruins. Now we're in a game. 3v2 retake here for Astralis.
DGT has timing to go through that smoke. Elects to remain inside of it. Good nade and a Molotov to not follow up into the pool position. Closer angles than expected. MongolZ is going to face out. That's not revealed, but HooXi will be baited in. HooXi on that AWP. Might have done better with the rifle in such a retake, as now there's a crossfire. Jabby can break it open. Pry it open as DGT is just biding his time through the smoke. It's not there.
So
And
close.
just
the smoke
again.
spam not working. Yeah. So they're going to be fully equipped here. Sam's off. paiN Gaming. They've got the lineup apparently, but Stair, despite being chunked down so much, is able to double up. Davideus and BigZera falling like flies. That's going to be B aggression completely halted. Very, very beautiful rounds. But it's not to be so far on the T side of Inferno.
It's more difficult to do on the T side of Inferno because a lot of these choke points are very tight. So very often what you see on Mirage is you can kind of keep control over an entire area or get control over an entire area on the T side, i.e. middle, B halls. And you can kind of manage it, right? You don't need to commit to anything, but on Inferno, it's a lot less likely. There are a couple corners that you can hide in, yes, but they will be checked, so not as comfortable. Snow with the flames. Bit of a contradiction.
Uh-oh.
This device needs to step up. No scope. Oh, God. 3v5 and Astralis are going to have to rely on Magisk and Yabby. Two players that you do want in this scenario. But this might be a bit too much.
Right about now, Yabby and Magisk trying to combine for this push. There's not a lot of money in the bank for Astralis. If they don't find something soon, they may decide to fall away. But Yabby wants to commit. Magisk tries to flash him in. They've gained some ground, but they still don't know where the players are. Trying to piece together where they aren't. And Magisk will be the first to fall. Yabby around the pillar, looking for that last little bit, and he's cut down. Even if he hadn't, he only barely had enough time to defuse, and that will be a paiN Gaming win. State, and they're up against a compromised buy from Astralis. We've got two A1Ss. We've got an MP9 on device. Pistols for the rest of the boys in the black and red. Well, right now it's just black and white, I suppose. Changing up their jerseys. Let's see what Stair can do.
Okay, good hold on the first, and it's HooXi righting his wrongs of the previous round, a 5-7. Better between his fingers than the big green. I think some would say, unsurprisingly. A nice hold, and I think Astralis will be able to make this comeback if they continue to play like this, because the smoke is coming in. Astralis of the first half, they would have cowered, had 3 players already in church praying that the bomb plant would go awry. But gap of 2 rounds, a bit of a final stand in terms of what paiN Gaming are able to invest, and there you go, Astralis. Now let's see how big this commitment will be eventually, especially in the late round. But Magisk, I think they've learned from their past mistake. They aren't going to try and pierce this smoke again. Just going to wait for some info of their buddies on the A bomb side.
Is there going to be somebody who deals with Magisk? That's the question. He's the only B defense. There is a quick rotation for Stair. Obviously, HooXi and Yabby still trying to hold down A from the sort of right brackets side. Leading with BigZera, it's going to be a good option for a push, and you know, that's one and done. Now, HooXi has dealt with snow elsewhere.
Ooh,
Does add a little bit of a complication here.
Yeah, he barely gets out of the crosshair of MongolZ. Stair, nice awareness. Davideus is not fully blinded. Now he is. But he tucks into the pool. Everything not going all too swimmingly. Stair just gives him a bit of a presentation. I know where you are.
Uh-oh.
Problem, lack of use on the CT side. Those smokes fade. Jabby had a chance to take
Poor
a cheap
timing for Astralis so far. It's working very, very well for paiN Gaming, though. This is a 3-on-3, and a lot of players are walking wounded. MongolZ has the right idea against Yabby, but if he flicks over to Stair, he could miss them both. Instead, a much safer position for him. The HE not quite earmarked for him. It doesn't matter. Stair will find him.
double zoom, and that's gonna cost him vision. On Stair peeking in, it's DGT. Don't know if he's aware that there is not a kit, but yet he plays it patient. Stair, will be swung!
That's the DGT for what he did. He's going to have one of the only AKs in the round, and a Deagle and a MAC-10 are the big concessions. With NQZ falling, that's an upgrade potentially for the defensive side, but they don't know it, and they do respect potential for paiN Gaming as they strike for A.
Awkward timing, but no worries. Jabby with the 180 does get the call. Of course, you can't run out as freely as you used to out of the apartments. They put a bit of a fence there. And it does make it, I mean, it's a small update, but it's so much more difficult to cross into that pit. Yep. So very often you see exactly what happened. paiN Gaming rotating themselves in towards the mini pit, trying to get that. DGT going for an autumn stroll there.
That's right. Sunset has happened.
Felt like he was just looking at the ground as well.
Yeah, I don't know what he was focused on there, but wasn't expecting Device to infiltrate behind Big Azera, who Yabby is definitely still watching for, and a dirty angle gives him the easy. Banana control once again seized by Astralis, although it is a little bit unconfirmed. paiN Gaming are going to have to either chance through the smoke, or they're going to need to pop through it themselves. And Big Azera just jumped up to get great vision.
The moment starting now, these final 30 seconds. HooXi at some point has the chance to commit. I think as soon as the smokes land, he's going to be sprinting over. Well, not quite. Device, he's tucked into a committed position, but this is a great angle. First one up, missed, but Stairs there to support. Fades back into the smoke. Holding on, the experience is enough to bring us into an overtime, as with 8 seconds left, paiN Gaming will feel exactly that, as there's no time, even the plant's too late. Is it? Yes, it is.
Yes, it is.
12 each, Astralis. Well, not quite taking it in regulation, but
it's 12-12, which means we're just starting off. paiN Gaming reprising their role in the T side, need to do better than they did in regulation. Astralis, well, they just got to keep doing what they're doing if they want to take us to a third map, and Davideus has been sailed through just by an HE.
Crossfire's looking set. Jabby will fall back in time. Doesn't make it a surprise to DGT, but the coverage is there. Looking solid from Astralis, and Jabby, even after all those hindrances. You saw some frustration on his face, but similar to Nerds, he's able to challenge that and become better. So sometimes we call it a bit of a cursed position, as we did in the timeout, but maybe it's a blessing in disguise. HooXi again pushing a smoke and not hitting the shot. Continues to hold the D key on his keyboard. Slides over a bit too far.
How often have we seen HooXi give up a free kill like that, trying to be aggressive? It hasn't been other members of Astralis doing the same thing. Still a very uphill battle for paiN Gaming in the round. 30 seconds remaining. Clock has been their enemy more times than not on Inferno, and Yabby not able to get caught out. However, NQZ has found Magisk elsewhere. This does make it a bit harder to hold from pit.
Look at Device position.
Device on the site. Whew.
And
he still gets a kill.
Oh, just a tag. And Swa is being swarmed by AK bullets. It's just 5 seconds left. Stair, he has the information on this, and he will swing through the spray. Stair. Oh, no way! NQZ, the commitment's there. Full wide angle, completely exposed, not jiggle peeking either. Let's not let that go unnoticed.
Absolutely. Yeah, other mistakes were also made, but call for a flash or something. Now, Device misses that opportunity into mid. Has to fall back. There are 3 members here towards Arches, as well as Yabby inside that pit position. Oh my god, I can't believe Big Azera drops that kill. And Device should be queued up for another. NQZ gets the off trade, has to push for another upgrades to the AK-47 instead. And HooXi trades over to Device's AWP. Trading spaces right now, but there's such a stack on this site. How do paiN Gaming get in?
Well, via DGT. HooXi, HooXi gets signed up, and DGT kinda freezes getting into the bomb site. unsure what that was.
Position, and a lot of that is onto device. Being able to pick those two players with the AWP. He almost was untradeable, honestly. It's props to NQZ for making it equal. Now, Stair is going to be able to finish Davideus off with pure utility and blind bullets. Another deficit for paiN Gaming on the T side. Can they overcome this one?
Some Chilean barbecue.
Probably pretty tasty under normal circumstances, but I think I'll pass on this one.
Astralis just doing what they need to do. It's a bit of a miracle that paiN have been able to get up unto one round on this first half of overtime. And I want to see this new look Astralis play a T side. I'm hoping they are able to fight as fiercely as they have. Stair won't be challenged and slightly mistimes it. Okay. Well, there's coverage. No, oh, no way. Oh, this is just... Astralis are going to have to fight against all of the luck in the world. DGT catches Device with a nade out, and now it all falls onto Stair because he is between a rock and a hard place and gets smashed from both ends.
Crushed between.
How does this
DGT
keep happening?
With 3 kills, man. Like, finding all of those little moves. Really great play from paiN Gaming positionally. Last round of OT1, and it looks like a 2-1 start here for paiN. South American squad in a 4 versus 2. How will Astralis possibly piece this together? They've got just 2 flashes. Now call it 1 as Big Azira takes Magic's set off, and there are no more casualties. Otherwise, we are going home in just 2 round wins for paiN Gaming. Well, Device opens up. That's a big scalp to take. NQZ has been a thorn in the side. Won't have to be working too much harder now. A 5 versus 4. Yeah. Utility exchange, but Big Azira will continue holding down the fort. He's pushed Astralis over towards the stack. This is the best chance paiN Gaming have with a man down to hold down the fort.
Chilean guarding DGT as it's Device to pick up the first. A lot of that crossfire failing quickly as just DGT who was staring at the sky. The clouds are a distraction to Stair, executing him in the back of the head. And Astralis, that's it. Willing to take fights, willing to take space, and this is exactly the rejuvenated Danes.
Now Big Azir is getting active. Stair could catch him off the back of this smoke. Oh, thank goodness he had snow in the background, but the dink was heard. That'll be a man up for paiN Gaming.
And that was the penultimate flashbang left alive. That is not a lot of util left anymore. That flash needs to be spot on perfect, and it's gonna touch no one. NQZ forced off the angles shortly, but they're gonna have to cross through a smoke for a win in this round. 15 seconds left. Some Astralis magic is needed. They're gonna plant the bomb right under their nose, and Davideus will hold them on.
Not being able to hold their heads up high whatsoever. Sure, it's been a recovery in the second map, but they were supposed to be able to do a damn sight better on Mirage. And paiN Gaming, despite all their bungles, are still able to close it out. Well, you can have some South American coffee.
Ooh. Great read. Typical response to the B util, and snow is no more. Gets plowed.
Secondary sniper invested into this final round. DGT considers it. Decides to get ahead of the play instead. Incendiary. That seems pretty good to stop a rush. It's Magisk who falls through the smoke. Well-timed spam. No way.
This might still go wrong for paiN as Big Azira's moved through the smoke. Not that surprising as they are ready for the trade. They broke it open. Device misses his opportunity, and HooXi can't respond. Seemingly enough time there, but
1v3.
it's HooXi missing it. Device, though, is going to get pushed. This op needs to be sublime, as it so often has been. But he needs to be more in the now. The future uncertain. Could be a 1-2 bracket for Astralis as he does get flagged, and NQZ bests him. paiN Gaming will overcome their map point woes.